Or what I'm working on right now is just adding a campaign inside of my CRM for reaching out to top 50 agents to get marketing dollars for campaigns. So I don't have the screen here because I have some information on here that I can't display because this is not my process. But what I'm doing right now is just documenting this for Ryan, so you can see how this process is done in a group right now of a bunch of people that are beta testing the process for him. So just recording myself as I go through the process. I'll post this as a stream as I go through this. So just working through this here. And just to reiterate for anyone that has missed it, the whole reason I'm doing this is so I can get money for marketing that doesn't have to come out of my pocket. I'm going to work closely with agents that are already spending money on marketing and going to partner with them to get to take over some of the money that they're probably currently spending with Zillow and other lead providers that we can turn into off-market deals for us, and then also turn into listings for them. And we're actually going to guarantee some of those listings in exchange for that. And again, one of the things that we had talked about previously is trying to find ways where we can get the most amount of leverage in our business, so everything is as automated as possible. So while I'm working a job, I can kick Stratton's ass on getting to $1 million in net revenue without having to expend as much effort as he's currently expending right now, because I have everything dialed in. And part of that just looks like doing stuff that doesn't really look like it's moving you forward. But for the experienced people, all that I'm doing right now is getting my time back, which ultimately is the most important resource. Because you only have so much of it. And this is going to help me get a ton of time back when reaching out to agents to get money for marketing. And it's also going to protect me from my downside of spending money and not getting that money back. And I shouldn't say not getting the money back, but one of the downsides in the business is spending your own money and not generating a return from it. The systems and process that I have also with the skill set, I don't think that will be a problem, but I can go a lot further with OPM. Anyone that's in real estate knows that OPM is the key to scaling your business. So like if you're doing flips, you can only do so many flips with your own money, and your ROI is technically, your cash on cash return is technically lower when you're using your own money versus using OPM. The less money that you have in the deal, the better. And we're going to do the same thing with marketing. We're going to put as least amount of our own money into the marketing as possible. And that's going to help us increase our ROI. We'll be able to do more, because realistically with my budget right now, I'd probably only be able to put $1,000, maybe $2,000 a month into marketing. And that would significantly limit the things that I'm able to do with my family, with my kids. It would change our lifestyle a lot, taking $1,000, $2,000 a month out of our budget. And I'm not ready to do that right now. Click the arrow on the linked phase 2 acquisition field and make it a drop down. So this is a way that I can kind of shortcut it. And this is the benefit of paying for advice. Because when someone has a superior process that limits your downside, but also increases your upside ability, you want to take that as much as you can. You don't want to leave behind those opportunities where you're not able to achieve certain things or do it a certain way without. Double check the fields that are not showing all fields displaying green. What's up, buddy?
You forgot to bring me to the dollar store to get it.
I didn't forget. We didn't have time. We can go. We don't have to go today. We can go today.
I love you, Dad. You. And who wrote this?
I don't know.
Wait, what does that say?
That's Ray Ray.
Rated it. Raylan rated it. It's coming off. I love you, Dad. You and the best Dad. What was that? I can't read this stuff.
Are you ready for school?
No, Mom's, my clothes are not dried yet.
Okay, we'll go do your hair. Go get some breakfast.
But when I put on my shirt,
It won't mess up your hair, I promise. So fun little combos that I have in the morning with my kids. I pretty much have an open door policy. So my kids are always welcome to come in. There are times where I need a little bit of focus and I'll lock the door so they can't come in. But most of the times they come in and just bombard and interrupt them whatever I'm doing. And it's a little bit hard to stay focused at times, depending on what's happening. But for the most part, it's pretty easy to keep going. They ask simple questions, so it's not always super crazy. All right, so that's it for step 3, I believe. I have everything set up correctly, so I'm going to move on to step 4. Update link fields and top 50 agents. So yeah, I just like documenting this stuff because this is the boring work that no one sees. Everyone thinks it's irrelevant. I know some people will be like, you should be focusing on making offers and getting lead flow. And while I do agree for the most part, this is a contributing factor to that. Because while I could say, yes, the only thing that I should be doing is focusing on getting leads, making offers, there's another piece of it that click a drop down for the menu to appear. There's another piece of it that reasons to say that what I'm doing is equally as important, because this is how I go out and get more leads and make more offers. Because in reality, if you think about it, if I'm able to go out and get $5,000+ a month for marketing, do you think that puts me at a better position than if I was spending $1,000 or $2,000 a month of my own trying to run marketing? I would reason to say that dollar per hour wise, this is more valuable than sitting down making offers right now on the limited amount of leads that I would be getting. Trying to do this with my own money. So sorry if I'm kind of going slow through some of these explanations. I'm just multitasking a little bit. All right, now I'm on step 5. This one has 470 steps, so it'll take a little bit more time, but I think it's just important to kind of share some of the stuff as I go through the journey. I'm trying to share everything because it's very easy for me or anyone to get into it's very easy for me or anyone to get into this place of just showing the easy things and not displaying or showing the stuff that makes it look easy. So for instance, like if you think about Steph Curry, what makes it look like it's easy for him on the court? It's all the stuff that he does behind the scenes. Very rarely are you going to pick up anything from Steph during the games. I mean, you may look at a specific move or his footwork or something that he does on the floor and you're like, huh, that's interesting. But very rarely are you going to see Steph work out on the floor and see what the key to his greatness is. You're most likely going to see that behind the scenes. How he works, how he prepares, all the things that he does to get ready for the games. You're going to see all of that more. So, for instance, how he practices, what types of shot he's doing in practice, what he's working on, what's he frustrated by, how he's feeling his body. What is he doing for recovery? All those things are just as important as what he does out on the court. But you don't ever see that. And that's why I like to see like these behind the scenes documentaries and stuff. Because you can go and see like how they prepare, what their mindset is going into it, what they were thinking, what they were struggling with. See how they prepare, see how they overcome, see what their conversations are. The greats drop these little nuggets that kind of go under the radar because they're not grand. But if you think about it, those little nuggets are Those little nuggets are the things that make them great. Because no one's great by no one's great by just the talent that they have. They're great by all the little things that they do that makes their talent look effortless. So as I go through this, I'm just going to keep documenting these things. I know you can't really see what I'm doing on the screen, and it may not be the most interesting TV or stream, but I'm just kind of walking you through kind of my thought process as I go through these things. Because this is what I think is the difference maker in business. And I know there'll be people out there that say like, oh, you shouldn't, like systems and operations aren't going to be what moves you ahead or what's going to be the differentiating factor. But I argue to say that it is, because these things that I'm doing right now keep me off of this treadmill of hustle, especially in a season where I don't have a ton of time, like bandwidth wise, to throw into the business. If I can do this in a much more strategic way, going back to like the Abraham Lincoln, if you give me a certain amount of time to chop down a tree, I'm gonna spend most of that time sharpening the axe. Same exact thought process for me with this. This is just sharpening the axe. Now I am moving forward. Like I got offers out already. I got partnerships that I'm working on for marketing dollars. I got some of those executed, and we'll start seeing some lead flow from that this week. I've got help with Dispo. Like I'm aligning all these things to help me move the ball forward. So that way when I get momentum going, I don't need to stop and start and try to start over again. I go back and rebuild. I just have it all done and ready. And it's just time to execute. So that way when I am executing, I can just put my head down. And I don't need to think about anything. I can just get in here each day, sit down, do my routine, and I have the systems in place to make it all work. So I'll just talk you through some of the things that I'm doing here on the screen since you can't see it. I'm not doing this through OBS. I'm just doing this, just me to the camera this time. But what I'm doing here is just updating all the fields in this database table, following the instructions that I have here from Ryan's team member, Ashley. And what this is doing is just preparing the CRM so I can upload the data into it for agents and effectively market to agents for marketing dollars. And what we're doing is building this as a process. So we always have a pipeline of agents to work with, and we're never sitting in a spot where we don't have marketing dollars. And I plan to, as this works, roll this out into multiple markets. One of them being here in Arizona, because I'd like to do flips close by to where I am, because I have lots of connections here, just being in Phoenix, lots of investors that I'm friends with, lots of people that are flipping at a high level here in Phoenix that are making good money. And also too, I think legacy wise, my kids think that all that I do is work on a computer, and that's the only way that I make money, which I mean is partially true. I mean, it's 100% true. But I'd like to take them to projects and show them how things are done, give them work to do at these flips, make them earn their keep a little bit. Because I think one of the things that is lost in our day and age is because things are so easy that our kids don't really struggle at all for the most part. And I realize that I'm privileged, but our kids don't struggle. And I believe that doesn't build strong character for someone that's going in the world. If they're not familiar with how to struggle, they're not familiar with a grind, and that kind of puts you behind the 8 ball as a productive person in society if you don't have these hard work skills. And there's also, I mean, because I live here, there's an element too of, like, I want to make the areas that I live in a better place. I want people to have affordable housing. I want people to have a good, nice place to live in. Like, I've lived in some bad houses, and it sucks. It sucks when you don't have the right accommodations. Something's wrong with your house. You're always worried about something breaking. Like, it's not a fun situation to live in. So I think everyone should have access to affordable housing that's well kept, that has all the accommodations they need, has AC, especially here in Arizona, has running water. And it's just like, it's a good place to live in, because I think a lot of the problems that we have in society can be fixed in the home. And the hard part is, if you don't have a home where you can feel the spirit, you can feel comfortable, you're at peace, and your house is a place of war for whatever reason that may be, or a place of stress, and that's going to leave you in a situation where whatever you create or whatever you touch, you bring that chaos to it. I'm a big fan of saying, like, hey, fill your cup first so you can fill others. And I think a lot of that starts with your home. It's really hard to fill your cup and relax and rejuvenate if your home is a place of chaos. And for a lot of people, that's the reality. And some of that is by their own choosing. Some of that is just because of what's available. And some of that is just a byproduct of not having access to the right things. So I think by doing flips here in my area, like, I bring some of that element to it. Make the neighborhoods nicer, affordable housing, it's accommodating. People can live in a place of peace. And then the hope is that we perpetuate that peace out further. So I'm finishing up this one here. I'm almost done with this step. It's quite lengthy, but it's kind of repetitive. So the section that I'm working on right now is marking what counties are available. So the way that this process works is as I reach out to agents, I'm going to basically be selling access to a specific county, and they own the rights to any leads that we generate in that county in exchange for their marketing spend. So it creates some level of exclusivity for the agents, so they're not having to compete. And then this is just a value add to the agents that we're working with. In addition to giving them guaranteed listings for their marketing spend. And the reason why that's impactful, like just the guaranteed listings portion, is like if they go work with Zillow or any of these other lead providers, you think Zillow's going to guarantee them leads? Not a chance. There's no way. But if they come work with someone like me, not only am I going to be better at marketing for them specifically, but I will be better at getting them an ROI on their marketing dollars than Zillow is. And it's essentially what it is I'll be a better steward of their money than Zillow or any of these other pay-per lead providers. That's the gist of it. I'll have to end this here soon. I gotta go get kids ready to school. We have talent shows today. So I gotta get my kids off to school and go watch them at their talent shows. My wife is doing all the heavy lifting right now, getting kids ready for school. So I appreciate her and the effort that she puts into our kids. I need company name. And this is one of those silly things that I think is important. Is the ability as an entrepreneur to adapt to the times. I'm a big believer in software and technology. I think it gives you a leg up that most people aren't able to access, simply just because they don't want to adapt with technology. There's a lot of businesses that I've looked at that are just so behind the times, innovation and technology wise, that they're missing out on so many opportunities because of this. And for some people, they may say like, okay, that's cool, I don't want to adapt with the times, I just want to do things how I want to, or how I've always done it. The problem with that is some of these innovations, like software, give you a better quality of life if you were to adapt it. If you think about the difference between someone that uses let's say someone that uses faxes versus emails, it's like they're not even in the same ballpark. The speed of communication is important. So like if I was just relying upon, for all of my deals that I did, sending offers via the mail, I would be severely limited in my ability to close deals, because company name. Because there's going to be people out there that just want to do it digitally. Company name from county name. So, like the things that people just want to ignore and go away, like AI, for example, it'd be reasonable to say that if I started a local business, let's say a landscaping or construction company, because of my ability to adapt technology and understand how marketing works, I'd probably be able to beat most contracting or most construction companies or landscaping companies because of the access or knowledge that I have with technology and software. And that, I mean, that could be, I don't even have to, be better than them. Like service wise, they could provide a better service, but because I'm able to do it more efficiently, or do it at a better scale, or impact my pricing because I'm leveraging software and technology and I don't have as much overhead, I'd be able to beat them or compete with them. Because of software. It sounds like rudimentary and simple, but like you can go to any market and find out of date companies and beat or compete with them because of their lack of adapting to technology. So that's it for me. Later.